EA continues to be the greatest company in the world by deciding that for PC they're no longer going to support disc media. I, for one, am not happy about this. Hi guys, this is Cal from the Open Games Network again, and I buy all of my games on disc when I buy them for Origin. That's just what I like to do because, for one, it's cheaper, and two, I like to be able to install it on the day that I buy it, and if I'm buying a game on release date, it's very difficult to download the game from their servers because they get oversubscribed and they become very difficult to download from. The set date that they're going to stop supporting disc media is April 4th. I do not understand whether this actually means that the discs that I already own are no longer going to be able to be used to install to my computer to then play on Origin, or if I'm just going to have to be buying digital downloads from now on, and that's the only difference that it's going to be. They're just not going to make discs. I would like to have this clarified, but the article that I will link in the description does not say one way or the other. I can only imagine that the reason they're doing this is because 100% of the time, at least in the UK, it is a lot cheaper to buy on disc. For example, when I bought Battlefield 4, it was actually £35 as opposed to the £45 that it was going to cost on the internet. In fact, no, it wasn't. It was £30 and it was going to cost £45 or £40 on the internet. Don't quote me on that, but it was around that price. There was a very steep price difference, and that continues to be the case. If you look at Titanfall, it's a lot cheaper to buy on disc, and they're going to make more money from digital downloads because they don't have to put out any real resources to that. They don't have to print discs, and they're going to get all the funds from the digital downloads, where the companies that would be selling the third-party games in their own shops are not going to be able to take a cut anymore because it's just digital downloads. I know that Game, for example, sells Steam digital downloads, but I've yet to see an Origin digital download in a high street game shop. That's not to say that high street game shops are going to die, because obviously people will continue to go to them for consoles, but I like to go to game shops anyway, and I'm a PC gamer. I no longer play on console unless there's an exclusive on the console that I have to buy there. Otherwise, I'm getting it on PC, and yeah, if it's on Steam, I might get it as a digital download, but for Origin, I'm less inclined, and that's why I don't have Crysis 3, for example, because I really don't want to buy it through Origin. In fact, there's a load of games that I don't have because I won't buy them through Origin. And if you look at The Sims 3, I mean, I've had that for ages, and I did buy that, but that was back in the time where Origin and Steam, they were just emerging and stuff, and it wasn't such a big thing back then as it is now. You also have to look at it this way, guys. Not all PC gamers have access to good internet. Some of them do have access to bad internet, but they can't download through it. For example, the rural areas in America, a lot of people have complained about not being able to download games and not being able to play always online games, such as SimCity, which is why it didn't sell very well in certain areas. And if you look here in the UK, places like the Highlands in Scotland, I mean, I live in Scotland, I've got good internet because I'm in the capital city, but people up in Inverness, they have PCs as well. They like to play PC games, but are they going to be able to if it's only digital downloads? No, they're absolutely not going to be able to do that. So they'll have to go to console, which some of them won't want to do, because this is just alienating a whole group of people that do exist, Origin, and you know for a fact, Origin, that these people do exist and they are buying your games and they want to be able to have them on disc. Not everyone actually has the internet, not everyone can afford it, but people do have PCs that don't use the internet, and that's something you should accept. You can't force people to have the internet to play your games that are offline, which is what you're essentially doing. In fact, it's incredibly what you're doing, because they have to have an internet connection to get your games now. Not to play them all the time, yes, but to get them, they need to have an internet connection, and that's not on. I mean, I may be being a little harsh there to Inverness. I'm imagining in Inverness you could do this, but certain other places further up north, you definitely wouldn't be able to do it. I mean, there are places in Scotland that will have PCs and PC gamers that just don't have access to the internet, because the UK doesn't have full access to the internet everywhere. I mean, most of it, yes, but what about the Highlands and Islands? Not everyone is going to be able to do this, like I've just said, so at least for people close to home, I know for a fact there are going to be people suffering from this, and they're not going to be able to play games anymore. So what's it going to drive them to? I can see that at least a little bit of piracy will come from this, because there are going to be people that just won't want to download the games themselves, and they might have a friend download an illegal copy and send them it in the mail, and that is something that is likely to happen. It probably won't be that widespread, but it encourages piracy in a little way, and game companies shouldn't be encouraging piracy. It's something they should really avoid, particularly when it's something as simple as just printing a few discs. I mean, come on guys, is it really that hard to do? Even if you just made it that we can only buy discs from you online and it's the same price as the digital download, because I don't want a digital download, I want a hard copy. That's just me. But you might even want to display them in your living room, your bedroom, whatever. You might have them somewhere on display, and you can't do that with a digital download. What are you going to do? Like print a copy of a case and just pretend you have it? I don't think people are going to want to do that. Anyway guys, don't forget to comment, rate, favourite and subscribe. This is Cal from OGN, and I'm pretty sure that tomorrow I'm going to be going out and buying the hard copy of Titanfall while I still can. Cheers guys.